1079 CDY. This is Cadillac Unscripted. It is sponsored by Independent Bank, and it's another Saturday morning of local chat with Katy Huckle and myself. And Katy, our guest today, has been the talk of Wexford County.
Listen, I don't know if he's Dr. Seuss, if he's Willy Wonka, if he's Walt Disney, but he's the ice rink guy, Rich.
The guy who got profiled by Steve Hartman on the road.
Yeah.
You prior to that, you had a great write-up in the Free Press, right?
He's a national newsmaker.
So this is Scott Chittle, who is the guy who built the ice rink in Manton that was a bust at first, right? Until something happened. Am I right?
Well, where's the magic? We want to know how the magic happened.
The secret sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it was a little bust at the beginning, and I built that rink not knowing if my own kids would skate, really.
Okay.
My kids had been skating twice. So it was more of a just kind of a, hey, there's basically two things you can do in the wintertime. You either go downhill skiing or you go on an ice rink somewhere, and there was no ice rink. So I didn't have enough room in my yard to build a ski hill, so it became an ice rink, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So when? When did you do it?
Mid to early December is when I ordered the liner, and then from there, built some lumber, and then it was just a matter of waiting for the liner to show up. That showed up, I think, Christmas Eve, and shout out to Cedar Creek Township because they found out the liner was going to be there, and they pulled in that night, Christmas Eve, and put water in my rink.
That's awesome.
So that was unbelievable because we knew we had 5 or 6 days of really cold stretch coming.
Right.
And they knew that I needed that cold stretch, and they said, hey, well, that cold stretch is not doing you any good without water in it, so let's get it filled. And they filled it that night.
Talk about a community effort.
It was unbelievable.
Scott, do you have neighbors?
Oh, of course. I live right in the city.
What? What did the neighbors say?
Well, I used to own the house across the street, and it was a pretty thin, long backyard, and I told my neighbors when I moved in I'm going to concrete the entire thing and put up hoop to hoop and put a full-court basketball court in, and then the winter I was going to turn it into an ice rink, and they thought I was a nut. Well, then next year I bought the house across the street, which happened to be a triple lot, so I put the ice rink in, and they didn't believe I was going to do it. So it's kind of cool seeing those same little kids come up and say, Scott, you built that ice rink you said you were going to build 2 years ago, didn't you? And I said, yep, I built it.
That's good for little kids to see. Follow through.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's next?
Gosh. Hopefully another cold snap. That's what's next.
Okay.
But, we've got plans for next year. I've already spoken to Nice Rink, which is the liner who built the liner. Mm-hmm. And we've already put in an order for a larger surface. Mm-hmm. And we'll just need to go to Pro Build here in town and get some more lumber and going to buy some more lights, and a friend of mine is going to come over with his tractor in the fall next year, and we're going to excavate and level so that the township doesn't have to put as much water in maybe next year.
I see.
So we're going to double. We're going to double the size of the rink for next year.
Rich, we're going out there. That's it.
You're going to get me on skates,
I'm going to
Katy?
get you on skates.
Have you ever been on skates, Katy?
I have. I even
have
have
not.
some of those little outfits that those girls just skate around in, the twirly skirts. And
I'm not going to wear one of those.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll pick your outfit, though. Don't worry.
She's going to pick my outfit.
But tell me about the skates. Skates are expensive, Scott.
Yeah, where'd they come from?
So I had a good neighbor, Chris, around the corner. He went to Traverse City, and he sent me a text saying, hey, I'm going to go to the Goodwill. I'm going to pick up some stuff for you. And I thought, great. Mm-hmm. Well, he came back, and it was $70 I owed him for reimbursement for the skates. And
how many
that
pairs
was all
of skates
well and
do you
good.
get
That was like maybe 6 pair, something like that.
Okay.
They were roughly anywhere from $8 to $12 a pair at Goodwill, Mm-hmm. But then they were evaporated too. So then everybody started stocking Cadillac's Goodwill. And so when I called, she said, Scott, I've been here for 25 years, and this is by far threefold the request for ice skates that we've ever had. And I said, yeah, it's probably because of what I got going on. And she goes, and I said, well, let's bypass the skates then, because other people are looking for that, and I need hockey sticks, because hockey sticks are even harder to get than skates.
Okay.
Because, a kid will grow out of a pair of skates in a year, and then a dad will, do whatever with them. But a kid will wear a hockey stick right out, or they'll break it, or whatever. Or they could still use that same stick or hand-me-down to a younger kid. So sticks were harder to find. So we got lucky, and people started donating those too. And now I've got about 25 sticks. But yeah.
So did the kids take the skates home, or is there like
Oh, no.
Oh.
See, they're in my personal shed right now, which is a problem. So I need to build a little shed and have it sit out there by the benches so that people can help themselves. So like
Almost
a skate
like the
shed.
roller skating rink where you...
Right.
Okay.
It'll all be self-help, and then each night I'll just have the lights turned on and people can just come and skate whenever they want. And they don't need me to be there because now all the skates are in my shed, which is where all my personal stuff is too, you know. So
Right. Yeah.
it's kind of cumbersome right now. So next year I hope to have some sort of a shed built.
Well, you know, do the kids need to be policed?
No, the kids need somebody to tie and untie their skates.
Sure.
Volunteer skate tire needed in
So after our first party, you know, I put it on Facebook, and we had 36 kids on the ice at one time.
Oh, my goodness.
And one parent showed up.
Oh, boy.
Because I wrote right in my post, you know, feel free to drop the kids off between 4 and 8 o'clock while everybody dropped their kids off, right?
Scott, it provides free
So
babysitting
those two
too.
creases on the inside of your pinky on both sides were bloody from tying and untying skates.
Oh,
so the
no.
next day was a Sunday, right? Half of those kids showed up again, and I could barely tie their skates. I had to skip my pinky and go to my ring finger to help tighten these kids' skates, and everybody's making fun of me, and I had tape on them and everything, and they're like, Mr. Chittle, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I can't even feel my fingers. And then when you got a kid that says, "Oh, these ones don't fit right. Can I try these?" You just look at them cross-eyed, like, "Okay, sure, we can do that."
Kidding me.
Give me a few minutes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Just be careful what you ask for. But how rewarding has it been though for you to see the sense of community amongst our kids in Manton with this ice rink though?
It's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really has, and just getting for me, it's like a big puzzle. It's like you want to be able to push and pull a kid and challenge a kid, and but love a kid at the same time. But you want to get everything you can out of that kid, and you know that if he's sitting on the couch or in his bedroom playing video games by himself, you know that you got more for him than that.
Yep.
It is hard enough to be a kid nowadays, let alone what we've been going through the last 11 months.
Right.
And so being able to give them a place to recreate and get out of the house, get off the couch, put the electronics down, and have some fun. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and grow and stretch. And I mean, the kids that I dealt with all, you know, bounced basketballs and played baseball. None of them ice skated. So for me, it was like, okay, number one, it's winter. You haven't been outside, and you're not going to be outside for another 3 months, and you've mastered that video game, and you know every speck of carpet in your house. Come on outside, do something different, and challenge yourself, and let's grow, and let's get over this fear. I mean, we all need to look at something like an ice rink and then look at somebody that's a really good ice skater and then know to ourselves that we're not very good ice skaters, and we need to get over that. We need to at least try it, challenge ourselves. And my community, Manton's, really stepped up. Those kids said, okay, we'll do it. And some of them went out and bought skates, some of them borrowed skates, and they all think they're going pro now. So that's
I love it.
It's awesome.
You know, Scott, it's when COVID went down, it felt like that something was stolen from children.
No.
You know, we didn't have a prom, and we have sports seasons, and we didn't have graduation open houses, and it's like you gave it back to them.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, especially those seniors. I feel so sorry for this last couple group of kids.
I know it.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's very easy for us as adults. I've been around 50 years. Suck it up. It's only going to last a year. But a year to them
Yes.
is an eternity.
It's everything.
Yes.
That's true.
And you know, as a parent, when you're going through it, obviously you watch your kids grow, and everybody has the exact same sentence in it, and it's something along the lines of, "Man, does that fly fast? That goes too fast. Childhood is just too fast. It seems like just yesterday they were this big." So 1 year is just gargantuan to them, and being a single dad, when you only get half the time with them,
right.
it goes 4 times faster. You know,
Right.
so.
And I will tell you, in my role at the Career Tech Center in the digital media production program, a lot of those kids, they so want to get to graduation day. And we all say, slow down.
I say that every week to my kids.
Slow down, because you're going to come back a year or two from now and say, I wish I had savored it more.
Oh, man.
My kids know that if they're in the middle of that sentence and I'm in the room, they might make eye contact with me. If they say the words, I can't wait till, they catch themselves saying that now, and then they're like, oh, wait, Dad's in the room. So if they were about to say something about, I can't wait to drive a car, and I can, or I can't wait until, JV basketball, blah, 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 blah. As soon as they say, I can't wait till, then they look at me and then they're like, oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. You need to trap this, and you need to figure out how to put the brakes on this, because what you got going on right now is bliss. You don't know that yet. You don't know that yet.
It's true.
And that's what I say to everybody about that ice rink is that, we as 40, 50, 60-year-old adults, we all have that iconic memory as a child, or a handful of them that just warms our soul. Mm-hmm. And my hope is that, some of those memories are taking place on the ice. These kids have no idea that it's happening that day.
Right.
They have no idea. All they know is that they had a good day.
Oh, my goodness. It's already time to go to a break. I feel like we just started talking to you, Scott. We're going to be back in a minute with the man of the hour, Scott Chittle.
I've got several questions I have teed up as we go along here.
Okay.
We'll be back in a moment on Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank on 107.9 CDY. Back to Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY. Scott Chittle, our celebrity guest today. He doesn't know he's a celebrity, but CBS, Steve Hartman made him a celebrity. And let's talk about, Scott, how did Steve Hartman and the On the Road crew learn about this?
So basically, I just wanted a bunch of kids to come out and go skating, so I put a post on Facebook. Cadillac News found out about it, so they called, did a story. When they put it to the editor, he said, this is front page, so it made the front page. They did a follow-up a month later. That also made the front page. Mm-hmm. That got the attention of the Detroit Free Press. They sent a crew up. They spent 6 hours at the house interviewing and photographing. When he put that to his editor, they said, this is not only front page, but this is Sunday front page. So they waited a week, so it hit Sunday front page. The next day, the phone rang from New York.
I'm getting the chills.
And, it's fascinating that here you are still sitting here willing to tell the story. You must be exhausted of telling the story by now.
It's fun, and I know that this is all going to end, and that's all well and good, and it's got its cycle, but yeah, it just happened so fast, and I knew his segments well, so I thought it was a prank when the producer reached out to me, and she said she was from this, On the Road with Steve Hartman. I thought for sure it was a prank. It's like somebody got some weird phone number and is texting me, so yeah, when he came up on the computer, I fell apart. As soon as he said hello to me,
Well, because you knew this story was going to be national.
Right.
And he has a legion of fans who love the way he tells stories.
Yeah.
In an era when stories like that need to be told.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
Well, you know what? You just said it well. We needed our hearts to fill up with something positive. Mm-hmm. Even adults, we did. I mean, what you did was for the kids, but the adults benefited from it too.
Oh, for sure. And he touched upon that in his little 2-minute segment, and he said for adults and for the kids, we all needed it. I mean,
we did.
And the adults that stand around the bonfire and watch their kids do it, they needed it too.
They did. And the unintended consequence of this will be adults and parents saying, what can I be doing for kids?
Right.
I heard one of the moms say they're not on their phone. What a gift.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you even realized how huge this was going to become.
No idea.
Well, and a lot of people have been outside of work. They've been marooned in their homes.
Yeah.
Not a lot of socialization going on.
Right.
So this is a great thing for the community for sure. Mm-hmm. How many, if you were to guess, Scott, how many of the kids who are using the rink had never skated before they used your rink, if you were to guess?
So just this last weekend, we had 42 kids out there, and I'll bet you 30 of them had never stepped foot on the ice before this winter.
Yeah.
And again, I've said I've had so many parents tell me that, Scott, had I known you were going to do this, my kids would have gotten ice skates for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And it's worked out well that they didn't have to, because ice skates are very expensive, and oftentimes you make a mistake when you buy your first pair of ice skates, kind of like a boat. You always buy something wrong, and you have to go buy a second one. But so that was
He's
kind of
seen my boat. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
And so they've got a new skill set.
They've got a new skill set. They're using different muscles. They're challenging themselves with the temperature. 3 parties ago, the parents and I are standing around the fire, and one of them looked at their cell phones, and it was 8 degrees at 8 o'clock at night.
And no one was
8:30
whining.
at night. There was 25 kids still on the ice, and not one of them wanted to get off the ice. 8 degrees.
Oh, my. You know what? Next he's going to hear from the hockey coach.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, you're
It's
going to have
just
some
crazy.
little athletes now.
It's just crazy.
What's
Yep.
the age range?
We've got a 3-year-old that's addicted to it. He's been coming out every other day for the last couple of weeks, and he's using that little walker thing, even though he's probably done with that. And then, there's adults that are out there, so there's a couple of dads that get out there and skate too.
It's good exercise.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's
got everything.
Tell me about daily upkeep. How much time is spent every day keeping the ice as quality as it can be? How much time out of your day does that take?
Well, this week it's just been me sitting in the front window looking at it and sucking my thumb and crying, but
Plus, it's been slowly
melting.
fading away.
it's been really bad.
It's like Frosty the Snowman, except it's an ice rink.
That's right.
Don't take away our fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
it
bad.
happens. It happens every year at some point, but
Yeah.
A thaw came a little bit earlier this year, but that doesn't mean it's not going to get colder again. It's too early.
So I shovel it. Even the dustings need to be shoveled, obviously. Any little bit is insulation. So I got to have everything off. And it takes a half hour to 45 minutes to shovel it every night. I just look at it in an old fat man's exercise program, So I've lost nearly 20 pounds in the last 2 months, so it's been perfect for me.
It's not
so.
a bad
Oh
thing.
my
That's
gosh!
not a bad thing. So
Here I thought we were going to get you a Zamboni, but no.
Well, I hand built a Zamboni. So I went on YouTube and found a little Zamboni, and I plumbed hot water to my hose faucet of my house. So I have hot water that runs out through the Zamboni. So I have to double shovel. So I have to regular shovel, and then I have to turn the shovel upside down and lean on it and walk really fast, and that does a double scraping. And then I get my Zamboni out and I glass it over every night.
Did you have any experience in care and
No.
feeding of ice before this
Oh,
came along?
no.
Okay.
No. Just
Honestly.
YouTube. But if you don't do that, if you don't do the double shoveling, then you got too much dust and powder out there, and then your Zamboni just leaves little clumps, and I want glass, so I just spend the extra 10 minutes and double shovel.
What do you call it? Is it Scott's Rink? Is it...
No. I don't call it anything. People will post on Facebook, hey, I'm at the Manton Ice Rink, and people just know that's in my yard.
Oh, I think Scott should get a zoo.
Well, it's interesting because our friend Mike Kelso has one in Leroy too.
Right.
Oh,
That he
does he?
does.
Okay.
Yeah, he has.
Yep.
He's been on our show many times, and I think one of the most frustrating things for a guy who has to maintain the ice rink is the lack of help.
Oh,
Could
yeah,
you
for
use-
sure.
Could you use volunteers to come and help you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, oh, well, you could, but I don't expect that for
Yeah.
sure. And again, I enjoy it. So there was a guy on YouTube that he looked right at the camera. It's probably his wife holding the camera. His kids were asleep, and he said, "This is my favorite part of the day. The kids are done skating. I get all my Zamboni equipment out, and I get out and I just turn it into glass. And I'm out here at night by myself. The lights are on. This is my favorite part of the day." There's just, there's something very satisfying about watching the ice turn into glass. So I enjoy it.
Is he Santa Claus, Rich?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a red suit for Christmas.
So you've already talked about expanding the area next year.
for
Do you
sure.
do you have any other thoughts about the winter of 2021-22 as to what might happen?
No, I hope to, we need so many more skates. So
Okay.
when you have 40 kids out there, and like just now, this week, we have the 6th grade is doing their field trip out at the house. So when you have
Okay.
all those kids that wear the same
Same
size,
size.
so you need 20 of all this size.
Oh, dear.
So right now I have about 60 skates. I could see like a 6x6 deer blind type of a shed with shelves in it, just completely full. I could see maybe 150 pairs of skates in there so that when people come over. So that's a goal. Some more sticks. I'm going to triple the lighting, just bigger size. Nothing else.
So I just have this feeling that the donations are going to come in. Because this is,
You
there's
can't even
momentum
believe the
with
weekend
this.
I just had.
Really?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Well, so Saturday we had 9 cars and Sunday we had 9 cars. Just pull in the driveway or pull up on the side lot because I'm on a corner lot. Get out, husbands and wives, and walk up and ask if I'm Scott and pull their wallets open and...
Oh, that is remarkable.
This is
Three of
because
them.
this is because they saw it on TV.
They saw it on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, and prior to that, I got...
They probably read about it too.
Yeah, prior to that, Senator Vanderwall sent me a note from Lansing.
Awesome.
People from Detroit.
What did he say?
He just basically said, thanks, the kids need you. The community needs this. This is perfect. Keep it up.
Awesome.
It was just a note on his stationery. You know what I mean? And I've got 15 people from around the country that have mailed me. I got 7 notes today with checks in there from anywhere from $5 to $50, you know, just saying, hey, this is so-and-so from Boston, Massachusetts. I got one from Vermont today, one from New Hampshire today, one from Arizona today, and one from Oregon today of, you know, $20 here, $50 here, saying, hey, you're going to have another party. Let this $10 go towards your hot dogs kind of a thing. It's just really crazy.
It was this all-American thing.
It
with
really
Hartman.
was.
I mean, here's you, and you're serving hot dogs to kids wrapped in tinfoil,
Yep.
and the kids come running, and it was just, I felt like a little kid again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Yeah.
you, Rich?
It's an amazing story, and I'm glad that you were there to fulfill a need.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, especially this year. This is,
Yes.
as we mentioned, it's been a rough year for the kids, and it's good to see them have something to look forward to and have fun with.
Absolutely.
And it's just been wonderful to see that it's connected. You know, you got a lot of naysayers out there with the COVID and all that, but when you have 18 strangers that say, hey, I moved to this area because of people like this, and
Awesome.
out of those 18 people, 3 of them asked for a hug.
Oh, you're
It's
kidding
just
me.
amazing to me. It's just like,
Oh, because they
And I
want to
get
be a
just
part
this-
of it, Scott.
yeah, they just...
Well, we're
Yeah,
all
and it's the same thing with, you know, a lady called me yesterday and said, can I make cookies for your next... You don't know who I am. You don't know if I'm going to poison these cookies, but can I please make cookies for the kids? You know, you can do a background check on me, find out who I am,
Right.
ask all the neighbors. I'm legit. And it's just the greatest thing, you know, and cookies to me are not a little deal. It makes cookies to make a community, and it's just working. And so it's just...
Again.
it's just a pleasure to be a part of, you know?
All American things.
Yeah.
Cookies, hot dogs,
It's got
ice
everything.
skating.
Right.
Yeah. But people want to hug you because people want to touch this. This is
Yeah.
something very, very special, precious.
That and also people are hug deprived and touch deprived anyway
Right.
after having to keep to themselves.
Right.
since
so
last
true.
March.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, people need people. People need to connect, and
Yep.
you gave us that.
Yep.
You know, what a gift.
So, talk a little bit in the a few minutes that we have left about your home community of Manton and how they've really stepped up. I mean, I know it's the help has
Just
come
like-
from outside the community, but in the early days, you had a lot of local help.
Yeah, and just like my boss, you know, Scott DeYoung at Benton Baker, he made a phone call to Woodstar Forest Products in Manton and said, hey, we're having this thing, and can you help out with firewood? Woodstar was there that day of the Steve Hartman show on
Wow.
a Tuesday morning.
So you could have a
He was there in an
bonfire.
hour and
Okay.
dumped off 2 loads and said, it's on me. It's because of the kids. You know, it's other people finding out that, you know, just people on Facebook, complete strangers coming into where I work there and saying, hey, I'm buying everything for your next party. The morning after Steve Hartman thing aired, a guy out of New Jersey called up and said, my wife was just cursing at the TV, bawling her eyes out, and said, you need to find that man tomorrow, and you need to talk to him. He called me at 7:30 in the morning and said, I guess I got to learn a little bit more about you. Who are you and what are you about? And by the way, we're buying pizza.
Aww.
So they spent $200 at our last party from Pizza Plus right here in town.
Oh, wonderful.
Just crazy.
So, are you reserving the rink for parties? Or is it
Next
just
year,
kind of a first come, first serve type of thing?
Yeah. So I was just been doing my formal invite with the hot dogs, hot chocolate, and all that stuff, and parents and bonfires for my Saturday nights. But next year, a couple of youth groups have reached out to me already. They want to do some outdoor skating, and there's just something different about it being outdoors, and you can have a fire, and it's just outdoors. It could be snowing, which is kind of magical. You turn on the lights at night, that's kind of magical. My kids want me to put LED lights in the inside the rink, like underneath the ice next year, you know. So a lot of crazy stuff that we're thinking about, but yeah. Hopefully the schools want to do a skating thing again next year. You know, that would be really cool to have that as one of their, you know, normally they would do like snowshoeing at Sleeping Bear Dunes or something right now, but all that's canceled.
Right.
So they're just kind of reaching out right now. But hopefully the rink will be nice enough next year that they'll want to do one of their field trip things there. So
I know you don't like to ask for help. Clearly, this man is a do-it-yourselfer. But will you ask for help if you need it? Because this has to keep going. It just has to be. It's part of the fabric of Manton now.
Yeah. I've had so many people ask me how they can be a part of it and all that. So I put something up on my my Facebook and whatever that's called, a fundraiser. So
like a GoFundMe or something.
Yep, that's on my Facebook, and people can put a couple dollars towards that. But that's going to expire here in a couple days, I think. But you know, if you want to help and you want to be a part of it, you can find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm the big, ugly, yellow house in Manton. So
I don't think it's an ugly house.
No, this weekend, the people that pulled into the driveway that wanted to come and see it and get out and say hello, they said, I've been looking for a big yellow house with an ice rink, and I've been driving all around town looking for you. Yeah, you found it. So.
And then they want a hug. Then they want a hug. And they want a hot dog and some cocoa. And
yeah. That's right.
A big yellow house in Manton can't be all that hard to find.
That's right.
It can't be.
That's right. I'm right in the heart of the city. You can't miss me.
You know, part of this too, Scott, is that you're so approachable and warm that everybody's like, I found a new friend.
Right. And that's so a lady from Arizona sent a Walmart gift card, and in it she said, your new friend forever. Next time you're in Arizona, this is what I got for you. And she described what she's got for me.
Oh my gosh.
It's just an open invitation as to, you know, it's just amazing. Just you either get it or you don't.
Yes.
You're either in or you're not. And
we're in.
It just true. People are connected to it, so they get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And so you mentioned your employer. They've been very supportive.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great to have, you know, an employer stand behind you and say, I support you, Scott.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the guys at Bet and Baker, it's a good crew. That's why I went there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate your time and coming in and telling us the story, even though you've probably told it at least 25 times. You've told it again. Maybe we gave you a chance to get a little bit more in depth here than the 2.5 minutes you got with Steve. But
That's right. I appreciate the invite.
This is the kind of stuff we want to talk about.
Absolutely. Good people doing good work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott Chittle, thank you very much
for
all you've done.
Me.
Keep skating.
All right. Next week, same time, same station, we will have Jason Elmore on the show with us.
Local judge.
Who has written a brand new book, and he's going to tell us all about it on next week's Cadillac Unscripted, 8:30 next Saturday morning right here in 107.9 CDY, sponsored by Independent Bank.